and welcome back to the Baker Bunch. I am Nisha. If you guys are new here, make sure that you go ahead and join the family by hitting that subscribe button. If you guys are an oldie but goodie, welcome back. On today's video, I am a little comfy. I'm all on the couch just chilling. I want to talk to you guys about my trying to conceive for baby number 2 process. So Tayari and I have been trying to conceive technically for almost a year now. We had our son Tamir in September of 2016. When we had him, we carried him all the way to 38 weeks and 5 days. I was induced because we ruled out preeclampsia twice and my blood pressure wasn't kind of going down, so I spoke to my OB and he agreed that I could be induced. So after having my son at my 6 week postpartum checkup, we had discussed birth control because at the moment I was going through a little bit of postpartum depression or baby blues, which I feel like a lot of people do not talk about, and I just felt like we were one and done because I was lacking sleep. I didn't feel like I was going to be able to have another kid. I was like, no. So I did my research based upon my blood pressure. I knew I didn't want to do the pill because I felt like I couldn't remember to do something daily like that. I didn't want to get the shot because a lot of people were saying with the shot they gained weight. So I had decided to get the Nexplanon implant. So if you guys aren't familiar with the Nexplanon, it is basically a 3-year birth control where you have it inserted into your non-dominant hand. I am right-handed, so it was inserted into my left hand. You don't think about it. It's basically just a little rod that you can feel there that is in your arm. So I was on the Nexplanon for a full year. I did not have my period at all, and I was exclusively breastfeeding. I am still currently breastfeeding our son. He is 21 months. Can't believe it. So when Tamir turned 1 in September of 2017, Tayari and I had decided, okay, we survived 1 year of parenthood. It's time to add a sibling. We have always discussed wanting to have a baby girl, so we went in for a walk-in about the day after Tamir's birthday party, and we didn't have an appointment, and because my OB at the time did not do the Nexplanon, he only offered the pill or the shot, the Depo shot. He sent us to Planned Parenthood. So I went there and we waited in the lobby for 3 or 4 hours and we weren't able to be seen. So I was like, Taze, what's the sign? Should we not have another baby? Like, what does this mean? And he was like, no, just go ahead and set the appointment and, we'll pray about it. So I set the appointment for about 2 weeks later, the day after my birthday, and I am nervous as heck. So I'm really nervous. We've been praying. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go, and if we get pregnant immediately, it's God's will, let it be done. So we get it taken out, and they informed me that with it taken out, you're very fertile and you could get pregnant immediately. So in my mind, in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, like that would be perfect, because of course we decided that we want to go ahead and give this a try. And if you guys didn't watch my I didn't know I was pregnant story with our current son Tamir, or with our son, I'm going to go ahead and leave that in the clip. It took us 4 years. We were married for 4 years and trying to get pregnant. So when he said we can get pregnant immediately, it was like, okay, no problem. So I got it taken out in September of 2017, and I did not have a period for the whole remainder of 2017 going into 2018. So I had downloaded an app called, Ovia app and the Glow Pregnancy app. This is not sponsored in any way, but I like those two trying to conceive / pregnancy apps. I feel like they're great with tracking and letting you know when you're gonna have your period and stuff like that. So we had recently relocated, so I needed a new OB because my old OB would be like 2 hours away. So I find a new OB and I set an appointment for March at the beginning of this year. It's already June, crazy. So I set an appointment for March, and I informed him that, my history and that I have not had a period yet. So we do a pap smear, everything comes back fine, and he informs me that if my period doesn't come back naturally on itself, then he will schedule me for a follow-up appointment, and we will go from there and give me maybe a pill or something to make the hormones get in line, basically. So my period came back itself on May 1st, which was last month. It came from May 1st to May 6th, and during our fertile window, based upon what the app says, it basically free plug. So if you guys don't use Ovia or any type of fertility app, what happens is it gives you like a dashboard. It tells you when you're fertile, how many days. Next day to you can take your pregnancy test in your fertile window. So I have my period from May 1st to the 6th, and then you can track like your intercourse, your mood, symptoms, cervical fluid, ovulation test, pregnancy test, your weight, and your temperature. Because when you're trying to conceive, the best thing to do, I've heard based upon my research, is to check your temperature daily, and then your cervical fluid, and you can do ovulation tests. But if none of that exists, ovulation tests, or if you don't have any of that, then your temperature. So what we decided to do was use the Ovia app, and I basically insert my stuff. So I've just had a period this week, from the 16th to the 20th. So Tayari and I bought the pregnancy strips, ovulation test, and then the little cups that you can get on Amazon for $15, which I feel like isn't bad considering buying ovulation tests themselves from First Response are like $30. So what we have decided to do, I talked to my doctor about it, and he knows that we're trying to conceive. So I ran out of prenatals, so I am now taking prenatal pills and folic acid, which is recommended to take before pregnancy, during pregnancy, and after pregnancy. And I am also taking labetalol, which is to get my blood pressure under control. It was saying that the best thing to do would be take the prenatals, the folic acid, watch my diet, and try to lose weight at the same time, and make sure that I drink more water, because he wants me to have a healthy pregnancy, which I also want for myself as well. You know, I don't want to have gestational diabetes or preeclampsia or anything of that nature. So currently we are trying to conceive for baby number 2, doing the things that the doctor has said. If you guys have any suggestions, I feel like the clock now should be counting from May to now. So we've been trying to conceive now for 2 months versus the full year come September, because I didn't have a period, and I felt like I really wasn't trying to conceive because I didn't know when I was ovulating. You know what I mean? If that makes sense to you guys, let me know. If you guys have any other tips or any suggestions that I should do, be sure to leave them down in the comments section. If you guys are trying to conceive, stay encouraged. I know it can be such a challenge. I remember before we had Tamir, and going to the malls and looking at all these women and looking at people who it seemed like they sneezed and got pregnant. It was so disheartening. It was so discouraging. But I just want to let you guys know that you are not alone. Stay encouraged, and I will see you guys in the next video. And that's all.